Hello everyone, hope that everyone's well, and I hope that you can hear me over the ridiculous barley rain that we're having at the moment. So today in my Getting Real series I wanted to talk about authenticity. So over the last half a century, Buddhist teachings have had a huge influence on the Western wellness industry. Key concepts such as authenticity, mindfulness and compassion, they're all part of Buddha's recipe for the alleviation of suffering. And in existentialist philosophy, it cites that someone who's not living authentically can actually lose meaning in their life and slip into anxiety, apathy, despair. And they might start chasing kind of big pleasure-seeking thrills and highs, whether it be drink or drugs or sex or shopping or living in fantasies or whatever, and looking for those quick fixes to start to shirk and distract from the responsibility of actually living in true alignment with yourself. So at the end of last year, for example, I experienced quite bad anxiety about my identity and worth as a health coach. So at the root of this was authenticity or inauthenticity. In the competitive world that we live in today, we often feel like we need to fit into a kind of predetermined box. And actually a lot of the time we're creating that box for ourselves inside our own heads. And it's really easy to feel a certain way, to feel a pressure to be a certain way. I can't get my words out today. But within the wellness and fitness industry, it can totally feel like the same. Sometimes it feels like we all need to fit into that kind of clean eating Instagram box. And I realized long ago that I have two very different sides to me, and very strong sides. I have a side that's highly spiritual, that seeks a deep connection with the universe. I meditate daily, I speak to my angels, all of those sorts of things. And also a side that has both stomping party girl feet on the ground with an addiction to loud techno music and raging around at muddy festivals. And these two sides really need to be in balance for me to be feeling at my most vibrant. If my party girl gets too much airtime, then I start to feel really ungrounded. But then if she doesn't get any airtime, then I start to feel really flat. But I didn't quite know how to indulge, this side of me with my identity as, the health coach. And the inauthenticity was really starting to have an adverse effect on me physically, mentally and emotionally, making me feel extremely anxious that I actually start to felt physically within my body. I realised, however, hey Patrick, thanks for hopping on. I realised, however, that these two things are not different. They're not in kind of direct polarity to one another. They are in fact different manifestations of the same thing. Hey Courtney, hey lovely. They're different manifestations of the same thing. Being my love for life and my top value of feeling alive. So where I'd previously felt really fractured, I actually felt, in alignment and back in feeling congruent. So psychologists actually attribute authentic people as possessing 7 qualities. So realistic perception of reality, acceptance of themselves and others, thoughtfulness, non-judgmental humour, full expression of emotions, ability to learn from mistakes, and understanding of our motivations. Hey Lucy! So inauthenticity essentially comes from an awareness of ourself. I keep coming back to this concept in all of my lives that I've done so far. It all leads back to really gaining an understanding about yourself and in your own health and wellness. The entire way that we see ourselves and our place within the world is really projected every day onto our reality. When we're not in alignment, hey Sabrina, when we're not in alignment with who we are, this incongruence can start to manifest itself all over the place. Not to mention the internal grief that you're actually starting to create within yourself. And if you're holding on to an inauthenticity about who you are, who you want to be, what you want to be doing, or an inauthenticity in your close relationships, maybe it's, holding on to past resentments or not verbalizing the way that you're feeling. This can have a really adverse effect upon our lifestyle, and also those blocks can start to really take a hold in the form of stress, anxiety, dis-ease, and then disease. And one of my favorite exercises for understanding yourself and living in authenticity, and I've mentioned this on a couple of lives before, is a top value exercise. So we do this within the Emporium, and I've done it on quite a few different kind of self-development courses as well. And this is your top values are, it's not so much like a moral thing. It's actually they're the things in your life that are your non-negotiables, the things that you cannot live without, the things that you would always find money for if you were broke, the things that you always find the time for. When you're so stressed, when you're so busy, they are the things that you create the time for, that really makes time stand still for you. So for me, my top values are feeling alive, as I mentioned, that's my top one. My health, travel, my contribution, and my connection to the world and to others. So when you can become better acquainted with what actually makes you tick in life, you can start to see more clearly your motivations for your behaviours. And also you can start to really appreciate the top values of others. So, you know, you don't always kind of expect everything from other people when you can start to see what their motivations are. And it means that you can start to operate in direct accordance with these values. You can start to actually insert behaviours into your week that really start to align with your values and really start to lessen the impact of the things that don't align with your values. And this awareness can really strengthen into a confidence and an appreciation for your own unique needs and offering, which just means that you can start to be more authentic. And it really is, you know, it's such an important thing. Hey Isha, hey lovely. It's such an important thing for our self-expression within our life. And those blocks can just be such a damaging thing. So I really do encourage you, if you're feeling challenged in this area, to maybe just start with that top values exercise and just see how you go. And if you'd like to speak to me about it, learn a little bit more, then please do get in contact. I would love any of your, yeah, finally on live, yay. I'd love for you to comment below how this resonates with you. Hey Claudia. And yeah, give me any feedback. So I'm not going to be on tomorrow. It's my housemate's birthday, so we're going out all day to celebrate. So I'm not going to be on tomorrow, but I hope very much that you will catch up with me next week. And if you're catching this on the replay, then do #replay so I can see who's been joining. So thanks so much, guys, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.